You can either say po or popo, I don't know. Like, it doesn't matter, both mean the same thing, right? And there's like the Italian river, the Po.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that's funny.
Man.
It's like hee hee hee, but...
That's what he was actually talking about in that weird African video. Such a dark meaning to it now. They eat the popo.
Yes.
No, don't eat the police. No one wants to see that.
No, like, they taste like donuts, probably. In which case, you know what? I mean, everyone likes donuts.
You know what they do? We used to have a Dunkin' Donuts here where we live, but I don't think they did enough business, so they actually shut down. How can that happen?
It's not like Dunkin' Donuts has great donuts. It's just that Europe doesn't have a whole lot of donut shops, so...
Yeah, like...
They stand out through lack of competition.
Pretty much. Oh my god, look at this. 10
Maybe they went out of business because they don't serve kanelbulle.
I think they had that too, and they tried to like Swedify things, where they were like, we're a Dunkin' Donuts, but we also have fika.
We're Dunkin' Donuts, but we put cardamom onto every donut that doesn't actually have it in the original. Because that's what Swedish people do.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh, the Wraith. The level 3 Wraith. Oh.
So how much? Show me. 10, 12, range of 40.
I haven't even put stuff in it.
I know. Put stuff in it.
I'm gonna. Where's the stuff that I had in the... Actually, you know what?
Wait to see you again,
I'm gonna do another switcheroo. Where now there's no reason for anyone to be using the crossbow.
Yeah.
That only has one shot in it. The crossbow is identical to all the other silent weapons in every way. Except it only has one shot instead of 2.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take our crossbow. We're gonna remove this and this.
Yeah.
The Mimir, the Mimir scope, and the Elysium scope, or whatever.
You're just doing it on purpose now.
Here we go. Where's the Elysium? There.
Elysium. Man, oh god, I can't think of that word now without thinking of that comment on the
Look at this.
on the Brain for Breakfast eulogy, where someone wrote he's in Indonesia now, and it took us a really long time to figure out they were talking about Elysium.
I know. It was my favorite comment.
It's comments like that made the whole thing slightly less depressing.
And knowing him, I know that he would have gotten a kick out of that.
Yeah,
he would have found it hilarious.
I know.
He is in Indonesia now. That is amazing.
Like, I didn't even understand what it meant.
It took me a long time.
You had to explain it to me.
I thought about that comment for so long, for days, that he is in Indonesia now. What are they talking about? What do they mean? And then it's like, oh, Elysium.
I mean, I think that's great because there were a lot of comments like that were just off and weird, and it just shows like how much of a reach he had on the entire world, because people from like everywhere
with kind of shitty English.
But
that's
it's great.
wonderful.
It's great. It's wonderful. Right?
Yeah. Momentum mortem.
Yeah, that one was also good.
Thank you whoever wrote that.
Honestly, it made our day, and knowing him, he would have loved that.
He would have loved it. But back to the game.
Yeah, so it's just the word Elysium always brings that memory up.
We have to try out our new super cool silenced Rambino. So we actually have to run through the Water Risers map again, because I didn't actually go to the next area. That's a Dumbo. You should always go to the next area, even if you don't plan on going there yet, just to unlock it for fast travel. I didn't do that, folks, because I am a big Dumbo.
Okay.
Big Dumbo needs to do a big jog.
Through the Water Risers, so in Swedish would that be Sluicen?
Yes. And in English, and I told you. I called it a sluice.
But Sluicen is also a place in Stockholm.
Yes. Because it's a sluice.
No, it's not. It's like a hill.
It's actually a sluice.
I've never seen a sluice there.
Well, that's because they tore everything down and are rebuilding it, which they have been... That project has been in construction pretty much for the entire time we've known each other.
No, it hasn't. They started like 3 years ago or so.
It's 100%
I have
a
seen
sluice?
I've seen it in its original state. I just never realized it was a sluice. So that's why it's called Sluicen.
That is why it's called Sluicen.
Ah.
It makes so much sense.
Ah.
It's a small one. It's like it's a change in like 1 meter in water level or something.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying.
And it's also impossible to go there with you without you just like getting angry at how ugly it is and like starting with like a foaming at the mouth.
Folks, it was a super non-functioning... Oh, right, they're gonna say some stuff here.
Okay, when Prip told us Goran was hiding out in a secret ark, he didn't mention the dark, scary tunnel part. You know how I feel about dark, scary tunnels. I specifically told Prip, no more tunnels, especially if they're 1, dark, and 2, scary.
I feel like 1 has an effect on 2.
So here's a kind of cool thing about this game. It adds a little bit of replay value in that depending on who you have as your highlighted character when you run, that's going to be the person saying the line when you get to a new area or whenever there's like a dialogue triggering. So the last time we went through this tunnel, I had Khan as the character, and he just said different things.
Yeah.
Duck's line was funnier. So
yeah, so that's good.
That is good.
This is a bit like in Mass Effect. It's just depending on who you have with you, your companions are gonna have different conversations.
Yeah.
Or any Bioware game, it's the same in Dragon Age. So.
Back to my rant. Sluicen was super ugly, super non-functional, was constructed wrong in every way. It created traffic jams, and it smelled of piss, and there was just homeless people sheltering there or whatnot. It was like, everything about it was just designed to be bad, and it just looked awful. And ooh, a note.
I did it. I found the secret settlement. It wasn't hard at all. The stupid elder preaches such lies. The Ark deserves him. But here, the people know a god when they see him. So of course they let me stay. It's safe in these tunnels, close to the earth, far from the ghouls. Much better than that rusty death trap over a raging river. Here, underground, the roots in the earth no longer whisper. They shout. They promise me a reward of even greater powers. Just north of here, inside a great tree. If I obtain these powers, Goran will be unstoppable. And revenge will be mine.
Goran, we've been over this. Stop talking about yourself in the third person. It's weird.
No. It's cool people who do that. So we can go...
No.
Okay. We are supposed to go forward, but we can also check... Oh, I see trees over there.
And I heard something weird. It seems like it came from the right.
Ew. Well, there's a pod router here. He seems to be by himself. Can probably take him out pretty easily.
Yeah, with your new and improved stealth weapon.
Hell yeah, new and improved. There's a pod spawner. But we may be able to... Let's see what we got here. Pod router, pod
the pod spawner takes... Oh, there's a tank.
Yeah. But I think we can take this guy out without alerting anyone else.
Well, then do it.
Do it? Do it.
Does that hurt?
Oh.
God.
Oh, I love that. I love everything about that. Big Khan, 1 step forward.
And...
Take the pop. And this...
Go to sleep, dirty.
Yeah.
Get him over.
We're fine.
Okay. Sneak around a bit more to see
yeah.
if you can just go loud here on these two, because like
Absolutely.
doing a tank silently isn't fun.
Ooh, a box.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
It's...
Wow.
What does that say?
It says bad to the bone. It's a blue oyster cap.
What?
Increase weapon range, increase movement range. Jesus Christ. This headpiece not only protects, but also projects around it an air of macho seriousness.
Okay.
Literature has been studied most thoroughly that corroborates this theory, showing muscular individuals wrestling each other for dominance. So this is straight up like just a sort of like gay pride.
I was gonna say it looks like it belongs in a Tom of Finland painting.
Tom of Finland, straight up, and Rob Halford, you know, Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Who's also like super gay back when it wasn't okay to be super gay, but he was super gay, and you know.
And still, people were surprised when that came out.
Yeah, and Blue
Which is
Oyster
amazing.
Club is also like just super like okay, so this is so good. It's so good. Crit chance when hidden, that's too good to not use. Crit chance from high ground is not that. You know what?
What does this do? What does this hat do? I just.
Weapon range and movement range.
But doesn't Dux already have like a lot of weapon range?
There's an argument for letting Bormin have it with because he has a shotgun. Which has, yeah, he's got like super good range. Man, but that crit chance though. Oh, but I love it. Who does it look best on? How does it look on Bormin?
That looks great.
It does.
That looks great.
But the crit chance though. But it's so cool. I have to use it just because of its coolness. Adding 35% range to a shotgun is probably pretty good. But I have to finish my rant. Okay.
What
So
were you ranting about?
I'm ranting about Sluicen.
All right.
And
I thought we were done with that.
No. And every goddamn normal, sane person in Sweden understood that this thing needs to be fixed. This thing needs to be overhauled. We need to tear this down completely and rebuild it.
Oh, I didn't understand any such thing, but okay.
Ooh, we can go back to the House of
Like
Bones.
I thought they're fixing it because it was sinking into the water.
Yeah, it was like gonna happen eventually, but also it was just like it's atrocious. So they had design competitions
Look
and
at this place. It's huge. Reminds me of back home, except there's no people. My feathers are tingling. Where is everybody?
Everybody's dead. Look at the corpses tied up in those vines. The whole town got their juices sucked out. Listen to me. Goran controls plants, yeah? But now he's into genocide? Something's up.
I think Goran is also being mind controlled.
By the plants?
Possibly. Now I from what I can tell here,
Or schizophrenic, yes?
this pod spawner and this tank are so far away from everyone else that we can go loud. In which case we can probably kill the tank pretty quickly. And then after that turn attention to the pod spawner before it has a chance to spawn anything in.
Alright.
So, final. We have culture personalities in Sweden. Every country has. The cultural elite. The people who make the music. The people who were members of ABBA back in the days. The people who write the poetry and live on like government grants given to poets and musicians. Did you know that we had a thing
know.
in the 70s and 80s where the super at the time leftist Swedish government thought that we must divorce the arts from such crudeness as money and profits, for art must be free. Art must not be constrained by the idea that you must be able to live off your art and be able to sell your art, because that's not true art. That's just commercialism. The real art must be allowed to be unshackled from the constraints of money. So here's what we do. We're gonna pick a vetted list of just people we decide who we're gonna give them something called an artist's salary, which is that they are going to be receiving money from the government enough to live on for the rest of their lives, simply because they are artists.
What does this have to do with Sluice? You're just ranting off topic
because these all of them suck, okay? No, they don't. But if you look at the list of people who have been given these grants, like, there's one clown on the list. We have a clown who is being paid for life for being an artist.
You're just angry because you're a clown who's not being paid for life.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh shit, why did I even press that button? Exit combat.
What?
No. And there are... And they're so fucking fancy-pantsy, schmancy, and...
Sluice.
Yes! And stuck up, and never has to, like, lift a finger for anything. And yet they're so high and mighty, and they're so important.
Guys,
and what they say is the only
man.
thing that matters. And they were... And they all live on Söder. They all live, like, at that area where the Sluice is.
That's not true.
Most of them do.
Well, we have
ABBA
friends
people
who live up north whose neighbor is on this, remember?
Alright. Well, you know what? The ABBA asshole, he lives on Söder, so I'm just gonna use him as a representative for all of them. And they were like, this is part of culture, this is part of Stockholm's cultural heritage. You can't possibly change this. And like starting petitions and trying to rally up protests and stuff to like save Slussen, keep it the way it's always been, never fucking change a single thing about it, as it is slowly sinking into the sea and smelling of piss and the homeless, and they held up this.
What is it you want here? Some type of Rudy Giuliani miracle where suddenly all the homeless disappear and you're like, have they been turned into Soylent Green or what? I'm not sure I like where you're going here.
Yes, we must push the homeless into the sea. No.
No, please.
What I'm saying is they managed to hold up this renovation project for like a decade. And it's really just like the cultural elite who
So what
did
you're
that.
saying is they held up the project for slightly less long than you're holding up this fight right here. You deserve everything I say right now.
Anna, words hurt.
Yes?
Words hurt.
Especially if they're true. They can't hurt you if they're not true. Now
Right,
go and fight these guys.
Let's switch subjects and go fight some enemies.
Yes, thank you.